Hey guys, welcome to the Bingezone. We talk about TV, movie, and animation, and we're going to be talking about This Is Us. This Is Us has been the most hyped show that has come out last fall. Everyone's talking about it, whether it's billboards, TV, word of mouth, offices. The ratings have been through the roof. The hype has been so real, but I'm not willing to buy into hype. And after numerous suggestions that I watched the show, I decided to watch the show to see if it's worth the hype. Is it as good as they say? Is it as good as they say? So before I even jump into my thoughts about the show, let's just give a brief synopsis of the show. The show follows the three Pearson siblings. We have Kevin, Kate, and Randall. And I know I said siblings and Randall's black, and that's because Randall was adopted. When their parents, Jack and Rebecca Pearson, were having kids, they're supposed to have triplets. And when the third child died at birth, Randall was miraculously delivered to the same hospital after his parents abandoned him at the same time that their kids were born. And the parents, Jack decided to adopt Randall, and that's pretty much how the family got together. And now it's 36 years later. They're 36-year-olds. Randall has his own wife and family. Kate and Kevin are living their own lives. And what the show is essentially is a human story, a character story about these children, and not just them, but their parents as well, because the show uses a unique dynamic, not necessarily unique, but a good perspective on it, where it uses flash forwards and flashbacks. And what I mean by that is the show takes place in the present. Like I said, we're following Randall, we're following Kate, we're following Kevin live their lives as adults. But at the same time, we're also following Jack and Rebecca, so we get flashbacks to various parts of the past, whether it's when the kids were 8 or before they were born, or Jack and Rebecca just met. And what I like the show does with this dynamic is the fact that whatever current problem we're facing in the modern times of these 36-year-olds, there's always some relevancy in their past that kind of ties into the main premise of the show. So whether it's Randall's fear of something, or Kevin's fear of this, or something that Kate doesn't like, there's always a reference point. And it goes to show that as you make choices in life, they follow you into your adulthood. The things that you like and dislike follow you. The love that your parents have for you and the lessons that they teach you follow you throughout your life. And what this show is essentially is this show is an emotional roller coaster. And what I mean by that is we have these guys, they're all hugely successful. Randall's in Wall Street, Kevin is a Hollywood star, and Kate is Kevin's assistant. So she's famous by default, and they're successful and they're living lavish lives. They have the money, but at the same time, they're going through these human struggles that we all go through, and those struggles can be dated back to their childhood. And whether it's Kevin and Randall's brotherly animosity towards each other, and we don't know why they're kind of different towards each other, because they're so in love with their parents, so in love with Kate, but with them there's like some sort of tension. And as we go back and forth between the present and the past, we get to see where the tension comes from. We see how they grew up. And this show takes you up to dark places, whether it's Randall coping with the fact that he's adopted and now he finally found his father at 36 years old and living his life as the only black kid in a white family, going to school, getting picked on, or Kevin not looking out. Like, it's a bunch of things that this show does so well. And I love the acting in this show. These actors are phenomenal. They capture the essence of these characters, and it really gets you thinking. The choices you make now will affect you later on in life. Everything you do affects you. And that doesn't matter what type of upbringing you have, because like I said, these kids have the best upbringing. I want to talk about Jack, their father. I wish Jack was my father. That's how great of a father and great of a guy he is. That's no knock on Rebecca, the mother, but Jack is a phenomenal father, and Jack provided everything you could ever provide for your children, whether it's Kevin or Kate or Randall being adopted, and the integration of him and carrying these kids and having them become brothers and sisters and loving each other and growing up this certain way and instilling these values on his kids that they carry on later in life. And it follows them. It really does follow them. Like I said, this show's an emotional roller coaster. It gets heavy when it's supposed to get heavy, but it also has feel-good moments of family and love, and genuine love at that. And it also has dark insecurities, and when you go into your insecurities and you give into that, it's good to have a support system to follow you and hold you. And even with that support system, you can be low, you can go into dark paths, and you can have those emotional things tackle you. And the show uses the tactics of fast forward and flashback. There's an overlying mystery that I don't want to get into because it will spoil the show, but like, you're watching every episode and you're wondering, how did this happen? Why is this going on now? Like, what drove this character to be this way? And the show gives bits and pieces with every flashback as to why a character is the way they are, or why their lives are the way they are. And overall, I loved every character in this show. Every character has a point. Every character has a purpose, whether it's Rando and his wife, his daughters, his biological father, his adopted parents, his siblings. Every character has death, has feelings, and like I said, it's a journey. It's an emotional journey going through these characters. I love every character except for this guy. Like, where is it? This guy. I hate this guy. Like, if you watch the show, you'll know why. Like, I hate this guy. Like, but that's what the show does. It gets you invested in these characters. And like I said, I binged the show in a week. And usually I binge shows faster, 2-3 days. But this show was so heavy and so fulfilling at times that you can actually take a pause and walk away from the show and feel satisfied, like it sedated you. This Is Us is one of the best shows I've seen in a while. And when I mean best shows in a while, I mean best emotional shows that actually has emotional depth and that actually takes you up and down emotionally, has you laughing and crying with these characters. So I'm going to give this show an A+. This is one of the better shows. It's worth the hype. Definitely check it out if you haven't already, guys. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, guys. Until next time, binge on.